Hello, Strength and Glory family. Welcome to another Strength and Glory interview here on Instagram Live. My name is Lorene and I am the host as well as the founder of the Strength and Glory community. And what I do is I help connect you to incredible women who offer tangible resources so that you can grow in mind, body, and spirit. And today we're having a really fun conversation. I'm going to be interviewing a woman by the name of Lillie Mae, and we're going to be talking about visibility and PR and how to be your own publicist. And I thought this was going to be a really fun conversation because this is for all of my entrepreneurial mamas in the house as part of Strength and Glory to learn how to grow in your visibility. And Lillie Mae has so much experience and expertise in this area. This is going to help all of you who are entrepreneurs and looking to get out there and just get more visibility around your brand, around your business. Maybe it's even your ministry, right? And so this is going to be an awesome resource and I believe a very important conversation to have. Before we invite Lillie Mae in to join us, I wanted to share a little bit about her. So Lillie Mae is an award-winning PR strategist, an international speaker, and TV personality from an Emmy-nominated series. Hello. She has helped entrepreneurs worldwide grow their business through books, coaching, and courses for over 10 years. She graduated from UNC Chapel Hill and has been seen on Netflix, TMZ, Black Enterprise, and more. Her exciting accomplishments include helping a beautypreneur client reach $500K in revenue in 6 months and landing client media placements with USA Today, BET Networks, and Yahoo News, among many others. And her visibility book for entrepreneurs, you can visit theglamceo.com, and I'll put that link before we end today. But let me invite her in so we can get this conversation started.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How's it
Great.
going?
I love your earrings, Lillie Mae. Hello,
Thank
those
you.
are
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
Are they hearts?
Yes, they are. They are. I love hearts.
Oh, cute. I don't know why I turned. I was like, oh, that's so cute. Well, it's so great to have you on today. I am so excited to be going live with you. And I just want to thank you for being part of the Strength and Glory community, bringing your experience, your expertise, and even just lending your wisdom to this conversation today. This is going to be really impactful for those ladies who are part of the community, who are entrepreneurs, right? Or maybe they're looking to get their brand or their media out there, or maybe even their ministry. And so you help people do just that. And I know we're going to be talking about being worthy of visibility and becoming your own publicist. And so my goodness, I got to read your bio off to the community and I'm just like, this is so exciting.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So you said something so cute on our last call, and what you said was like, you're worthy of visibility, right? And I think sometimes people are like, oh no, not me, or how, but you actually have answers and solutions to not only this issue, but to the questions that people will have. And so I kind of want to start with the fact that everybody has, gifts, and whatever your gifts are, there is room for you to succeed. And I know that
Right.
you help coach women through that and to understand and develop the confidence to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and start there on how you do that with women.
Yes, yes. So I've been working with women entrepreneurs for over 10 years, helping them cultivate their brand and marketing, public relations strategy. And like you said, I do feel that God has given everyone like a special gift, a special thumbprint, and a special group of people that everyone is called to serve. And so I like to really empower women to know that, yes, you are worthy of visibility. You do have
Mm.
something special. You're different than the next woman, and that's a good thing. You don't have to compare your journey, just really focus on the gift that God has given you and really hone your path so that you can attract the visibility for your business, for your brand, and reach the people that you're called to serve.
Yeah, I love that. And I think a lot of it is us, I could be guilty of this. It's just getting out of our own way and
Yes.
letting ourselves actually walk in what God has gifted us with. I got to interview another lady, when was it? Yesterday, maybe the day. It was yesterday, and she was talking about how oh, I just blanked on the exact phrase that she said. It'll probably come back to me. But we were talking about being able to like walk in our purpose and in our calling. And sometimes it just requires us actually going back to the basics and figuring out what are your actual gifts, right? And they're usually like the INGs. So they're verbs, they're actionable. But I love that sometimes people are like, I don't really know what my gifts are. So she was like the one that was like, let me help you discover that. And then what's really cool is your interviews after hers. So it's like following up with being like, okay, now that you're figuring that out, let me help you learn how to put them on display, get that visibility. And now I want to kind of talk about what the main theme of today's conversation is, which is pitching yourself, right? And I love that what you do is you don't let people just sit back and wait for opportunities to come to them, but you teach and coach them on how to actually step out and go after what it is God has called them to, but also gain the traction that they need to get visible in their area. So talk us through that and how you work with people within pitching.
Sure, sure. So oftentimes, when I first started in PR over 10 years ago, people would retain me full time to do the pitching for them, right? To confirm the interviews for them. But as the economy has changed and life has changed, now we're in a season where, a lot of entrepreneurs need that skill set so that they can do it themselves because they may not necessarily have that budget to retain a publicist full time. So oftentimes, I work in the capacity of a visibility coach. And so then I'll help people craft their pitch. I'll help them find what's interesting about their book or what's interesting about their brand and create a pitch that people will respond to, that news outlets will actually respond to. And so within that coaching, I help them come up with the headlines, come up with the pitch, come up with what their talking points are so that they can increase their chances of getting a response when they do pitch themselves for interviews to the local media. I also teach them how to find those contacts because oftentimes as a publicist, we usually invest in a software so that we have access to, quite a few contacts around the world. But the average entrepreneur doesn't have the investment capital for that software. So I teach them how to organically find the media contacts, how to find media contacts on Instagram, how to build media connections outside of just a software, but really getting to know your local media personalities, bloggers, and so forth, so that when you do pitch them, they kind of have a good idea of who you are before you hit their inbox. So I really walk them through the process that I've taken for clients as a publicist
Yeah,
so that they can do that for themselves.
that is so cool. I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, I wish I would have met you 3 years ago when my book came out because I think it would have been so much easier, right? I paid for the packaging through my my publishers and I just didn't get traction with that. Like I had some TV
Mm.
hearings, but it wasn't the same. And I'm like, if I would have known then, like known you then and known that there were actual visible coaches that train you in this, I mean, I would have probably just gone that route anyway. This is a sidebar because I know we're going to be talking about, purpose here in a little bit, but this will segue into that, I promise. How did you know that this is exactly what you wanted to do? And like, how did you know that this is what God was calling you into?
Great question. So I went to UNC Chapel Hill and I was studying communications. I had a professor that just really, took well to me. And she told me about an internship in the public relations department of Universal Motown Records in New York. And she said, hey, I can get you in the door for this internship in their PR department. And so I went to New York for a summer and interned there. And that's when I knew, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want to do. Like it was so in alignment with my natural gifts. And that's how, I always encourage people when they are on the fence about what they should be doing. Usually your passion and your purpose is going to naturally align with something you're good at. And so I've always been what people call a chatty patty. So I love to talk, about that's me. I love to write. I love to be creative. I'm good at storytelling. I'm a social butterfly. So I go in a room, I get to know everyone. So all of my natural inclinations really align well with being a public relations professional. So fast forward, I graduate, move to Atlanta. And then one of my friends, he's representing someone from American Idol. And he's like, hey, isn't PR your background? Can you help me with this artist, get them some publicity? And I'm like, sure. And then that's how it all started with me having my own agency from that day forward.
Wow, I love the setup for that too. And
Mhm.
the thing is, you knew like kind of what your skill set was, right? And you're like, oh, it's not just that I talk a lot. Like, no, it's like this is an actual gift that I can use to my advantage.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And you've done some really cool stuff. Like even being like seen on Netflix and TMZ and all of these different things. And so I just imagine like in the 10 years, obviously you have to keep honing your craft, and it's the right doors and the right opportunities and the right connections that you're making. But I think there's also, a semblance of, you said this earlier, in our previous conversation, on being urgent with your purpose and like being willing to step into that. And so I kind of want to go there because it feels like, it seems like we can sit there and be like, oh wow, she just had all of these easy breaks and all of this stuff. But there was a sense of, you have to step in obedience to be able to walk that out and
Hmm.
have a sense of urgency with what you're doing. You could have easily stayed in one field, but then you opened up your own agency. Then you started the visibility coaching and all of this stuff. So tell us how you walked through that, and where did that urgency to operate within your purpose come from?
Yeah, I think that for me, I know that we all have like a limited time here on earth. We all have a limited time. And so, my mom always encouraged me to live life out loud and live life to the max. And so that translates well in my purpose. I like to keep momentum as it relates to my business and my gifts. And a lot of the opportunities that I have had is because I've pitched myself. And so to the outside world, it looks like, oh, she's speaking here, she's doing this, she's doing that. A lot of those opportunities I pitched myself. And that's a part of having that urgency, I think, is not sitting down and waiting for an opportunity to come to you, but literally pitching yourself for opportunities, and maybe even going a step further and creating opportunities. Because I feel like ultimately, we're called to serve a group of women. And if we don't show up, then
Yeah,
they won't get served in the way that God has called us to. So it is very urgent. I also merge ministry with marketplace
come on.
like you. And so that's important. God's message is urgent. It's not anything to take lightly. And so I think that's why, I always have a natural acceleration in my ministry, in my business, in the marketplace, because I know that, God has put us here for a reason. Let's get to
Yeah.
it.
I love that, and it's so appropriate. I think sometimes it's easy to get into these rhythms where we lose the momentum, or maybe we lose the enthusiasm. But I think it's those pockets where maybe we're dealing with, I don't know, maybe it's discouragement. Maybe it's I'm feeling a little bit out of alignment, or I'm not fully clear on what my purpose is. And sometimes it takes, I was talking to another woman the other day, and she said, I'm dealing with women in their 30s, 40s, 50s that still don't even know why they're here, what their purpose is, right? And so I think going back to what you said about your gifts and knowing, like, okay, you took inventory. You're like, I'm naturally this, I'm naturally this, I'm naturally this. And then being willing to step out and use them helps create a little bit more clarity into how you can use them and steward them well. But then also, I love that you wake up with a sense of urgency because you understand that there is legacy attached to you being intentional about pursuing your purpose, right? There are other people attached to you showing up and doing what you, being in your lane and doing what you do and doing it well. And so I think that that's a beautiful encouragement. What would you say to those that are part of the Strength and Glory community that maybe they're branching out in entrepreneurship, Lillie Mae? Maybe they're hitting those roadblocks. Maybe they're hitting that discouragement. Maybe they're like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I don't know if what I have is worth being visible. What would be your encouragement to them to get them moving, and just step out of that place of maybe discouragement or despair and get into a place where they're walking that out. And then we could talk about, maybe even connecting with you and what would be the best way for that.
Sure, sure. So, from a ministry standpoint, I always encourage women to really seek God for clarity on what season they're in. Sometimes we are in a season of rest and we're resisting that rest, thinking that we're getting, like we're falling behind because we see what everyone else is doing. So, it's very important that you seek God for clarity on what season you're in, because you might be in a season of rest. It's not that you're failing, it's not that you're stuck. Maybe God wants you to sit still and seek Him. So, there's one
Mhm.
angle to that, right? And then the other angle is, if you seek God and He says, yes, it is your time. So now you need to connect with people like myself, people like Lorene, people who have the energy and the skill set to help you get from point A to point C. Like oftentimes solopreneurs can be, very isolated because we wear all the hats, we do all the things. And sometimes we need to connect with another person that has the energy and the skill set to get us out of that business rut and help us see what we can monetize in our business, help us see other ways we can get revenue from our business. Sometimes, you know, when I'm working with or coaching someone, they're like, oh, Lillie, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even see that this was a stream of income that I'm totally overlooking, or I didn't see that I can serve women in this way. So, you know, simply doing a consultation call or a coaching call with someone like myself or Laureen, it could really rev you up and give you the energy and strategy to get out of that rut. So that would be like a twofold answer.
Yeah, and it's the perfect answer, to be honest, because sometimes you just need that help. You just need that outside perspective. Like there's
Mhm.
times, full transparency, there's times where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I don't even know. I don't even know. And I'll get on a call with one of my friends who maybe is a coach and crushing it at the moment, and they're like, oh no, you're like actually you're in a good spot. And
Mhm.
like I love that you tied in rest, because that's oftentimes what some of the encouragement comes back to me. Like you're pushing for something when God is saying slow down and take a pause, and I'm over here striving, trying to make it happen because I'm like I'm falling behind, and God's like, can you
Mhm.
just take a nap? How about we just take a nap?
Right. Exactly.
Take a nap. And then what's also beautiful is, and one of the passions and reasons why I started Strength and Glory was because I wanted the tangible resources to be available, right? So let's say if you are in a season rest, there's women that are part of Strength and Glory that can help you learn how to rest well. If you're in a
Mhm.
season of like, go, let's pitch, let's hustle, there's women like you, Lillie, who can teach you how to do that. How do I get up? How do I get going? How do I get my business visible? All of these things. And so that's really the heart behind the Strength and Glory communities, that we're all better together. And all of my
Mhm.
beautiful ladies, like I said this yesterday, I was like, I love looking at my Instagram because I just have this like army of beautiful
Mhm.
women that are like, we're here and ready, and what do you need?
Mhm.
And so the
Yes.
accessibility and the tools are there. Um, one more question before we start to head out. Um, let's say somebody wants to connect with you,
Mhm.
and they're in that space, right? Maybe they're done with their season of rest. Maybe it's go time for them. What's the best way for them to get in contact with you and reach you? And tell us a little bit about some of the resources that you're offering.
Sure, sure. So we can definitely hop on a free call. I offer a free discovery call for 15 minutes just to see what, you know, our synergy is and how I can help you. And then for women who are, you know, ready to get some media opportunities right away or ready to get strategy right away, they can simply visit my website, theglamceo.com. That's theglamceo.com to see a lot of the a la carte resources that I have, because I do have magazine cover opportunities to speak virtually. I have ebook licensing. If you're looking for digital products to sell, I have products you can sell. So there's so many different a la carte opportunities on my website. I also have the course, How to Be Your Own Publicist, that teaches you visibility strategies, all of those things. So I would definitely say, you know, follow me on Instagram, stay connected that way. If you want to do the free call, just DM me and we can hop on the free call. Or if you want to go to my website and go, you know, shopping with all the business goodies there, you can visit theglamceo.com.
I love that. All right, Strength and Glory, there's your call to action. If you're ready, if you're looking for somebody to get you going in the right way, you need some publicity, you want some visibility, Lillie has you. You can DM her. We'll put her website, which is such a listen. That's such a cool website. The Glam CEO. Yes, ma'am. I love it. We'll get
Thanks.
that put in the caption as well for those of you who want to just check that out. But again, you want to message her directly. You want to go visit her Instagram. You want to follow her, and she's going to be able to give you those resources. And then before we head out, Lillie, what would be one final encouragement that you want to leave with the Strength and Glory community for today?
Yeah, so I think one piece of encouragement, or my final thought, would be to remember that you are exactly where God wants you to be. You're not behind. You're exactly where God wants you to be. So don't be discouraged. Don't compare yourself to the next woman. Don't doubt yourself. Don't have fear that you're not going to reach your goals and dreams. Just trust that you truly are in God's divine timing. And so wherever He has you, it's still a place where you can bloom. You have to bloom wherever you are planted, and just trust that He still has a great destiny in store for you.
That was so good. Yay. Oh, this was such a great conversation. I'm so thankful for you. And I have to say this, I have to say shout out to your mom for basically instilling so many good things into you, and just that little nugget that you shared earlier, because you were like, my mom is always, and I was like, you gotta shout out the moms, right? You have
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Some of the mama love. Well, Lillie, thank you so much for joining me again today. It has been so lovely getting to know you and connect with you and to have you be a part of the Strength and Glory community.
Thank
Um,
you.
I love all you're doing. So thank
Thank
you.
you so much. And thank you for having me. I was so honored that you reached out to, speak and chat. And I just love doing this. And I'll be honest, like this for me is a moment that is a part of my acceleration and my momentum. So this keeps me going. It's moments like this that really keep me going because as much as people see on Instagram, a polished, colorful presentation of Lillie Mae, I have moments too. And then, when I'm able to connect with like-minded women like you, it recharges me. So thank you.
I selfishly I started doing that just for myself. I'm like, I need community. What am I doing? Let's go build it. So,
Yes.
so
Good
it's
job.
it's it's mutual. It's so mutual. So thank you so much. Well, my dear, you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And
Okay,
Strength
bye.
and Glory, we'll be back with more interviews next week. So have a great rest of your Thursday and a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye bye.
Bye.